In this video, I'll be getting real about my Kundalini awakening process and some other secrets about Kundalini. So make sure you watch until the end when I reveal the best part of my Kundalini awakening and what you can do to awaken your Kundalini. Hi, I'm Melissa Feick, founder of the Spiritual Expansion Academy. I help people expand their consciousness so they can be centered and grounded in oneness and open to the possibilities of the world. So my Kundalini process happened over a period of years. And when my Kundalini was fully activated, it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. This process opened up all the channels, connecting me to full bliss and love. And now it's easy for me to do, to be in that pure energy light, but it wasn't always that way. When I first experienced Kundalini, this was just like a small movement or rocking during my meditations. I really at that time had no idea what it was and what was happening. This was before YouTube and the internet. Then I started experiencing jerking and shivers during my meditation. And at the end of this video, I'll actually explain my life-altering experience. But I feel it's best for you to understand the Kundalini so you can start to awaken the power of it yourself. So for me, there's a difference between a spiritual awakening and a full-blown Kundalini activation. So while you're experiencing a spiritual awakening, you're beginning to activate your chakras, and you'll begin having mystical experiences like your third eye opening, and you'll just kind of know things. It's called claircognizance. A Kundalini awakening can be sudden or it can be gradual, and really one isn't better than the other. The most fantastic thing about your spiritual awakening is that you're on your path. And the spiritual path is different for everyone. So try not to compare yourself to other people. So you're on this earth plane, and this time is a really fantastic time because the ascension process is happening. The frequency around you is rising quickly, and the ascension is happening whether we want it to or not. And that's so exciting. So the Kundalini is connected to the chakras and the Sushumna. So each chakra holds a potential to be fully activated and expressed, but they hold on to old trauma and fear. And the Sushumna is that channel that connects all the chakras together, connects crown to root. So in the ascension, you're supposed to be working on your chakras, and they're supposed to be connected with each other. But right now they feel separate and disconnected because if you feel separate, they're separate. And as that Kundalini awakens, it awakens the chakras, and you start to burn through those lower vibrations like fear that gets stuck in the chakras. So when your chakras are completely clear of any low vibration, the energy of the Kundalini should start to feel smooth because there aren't any obstructions. So in order to clear the obstructions in the chakra and the Sushumna, you want to transcend your old wounds and traumas. And these are physical, emotional, and mental. So the Kundalini process creates kriyas, which are the blockages within the chakras and the Sushumna line. And these lower vibrational blocks come from anything in your life that you're still attached to, like traumas, beliefs, emotional or mental patterns, or karmic energies. So when you're having a Kundalini experience, you may run into those kriyas and start to experience some involuntary movements. This is the energy of the kriya trying to move that old stuff and transcend and dissolve that. And of course, you don't want to bypass your issues. So make sure you check out my video on spiritual bypassing. So the Kundalini is pushing that energy up through the chakras and the Sushumna via that Pingala and Ida channels. And you experience these kriyas, which are those uncontrollable jerks in your body, because the Kundalini is activating and it's pushing through those lower vibrations that are stuck in your chakras. The Kundalini process is depicted like the snake moving upward through and around your chakras, allowing all those stuck energies in your chakra system to heal. So when I first learned about Kundalini, I was told it's dangerous. Don't do it. It's bad. I was taught to be careful, and there was a lot of fear around Kundalini. And then I started thinking about fear. And fear, we all know, is the easiest way to control people. So was that a reason that people want us to be afraid of the Kundalini? I think people are more fearful of the Kundalini because on some level, they're not ready for the power associated with Kundalini being fully activated. They'll tell you stories of lower energies that they've experienced. And I kind of want to be clear. These lower energies are something they're attracting through fear. Either it's their own fear, like attracts like, or maybe from their own inner pains and abuse that's subconsciously connecting to the fear. It also could be that they have fear of their ego dissolving, because the end result of Kundalini activation is your ego dissolving. So if you have not properly prepared your body's chakras for that activation, it can feel overwhelming and out of control. It will also activate your third eye. And if you haven't dealt with your negativity, boundaries, and power, you may experience fear and negativity that you project into the world, because that's what's coming back. So as my Kundalini broke through the lower vibrations in my chakras, I experienced an energy surge within my head and my whole body. It broke upward and around. And for some time, this has been a process, because I wasn't looking for a quick fix. I wanted to work with every emotion that came up and every situation so I could raise my vibration. The Kundalini happens usually through stages. And I've met many who have instantaneous Kundalini, but they usually fall back into their old patterns. For me, it's been a little different because I've experienced a full awakening, but I have worked through each level so that I am fully in my ascension process. I believe that there's a difference between having a peak experience like instantaneous Kundalini activation and being in consistent peak states of higher consciousness. So don't get me wrong, having a peak experience will definitely awaken you. And sometimes if you've had one or two experiences, you may want more, which keeps you engaged on your spiritual path. I believe that if you try to force anything from the ego or the energy of desire, you're kind of messing up with the beautiful dance of the Kundalini. So be patient and take your power back and experience the power of the Kundalini. Once I started to experience the light and energy surges in my body, the Sushumna was fully activated. And when this started to happen, I started to experience what I call the reverse Kundalini. That's the energy Sushumna, because the Sushumna moves up and down. So it started to surge through from my 8th chakra downward. And this was a rush. It was blissful. My spiritual heart activated. And the spiritual heart is the heart chakra, past the heart chakra, that's connected to the Christ or divine consciousness. What that did was it opened up my abilities to manifest instantly and create amazing things in my life. This happened. The experience was mind-blowing, and it really helped me sit in a place that I've never really experienced. I've looked at it. I've seen it through the veil. I've experienced little experiences, but the peak state has been pretty consistent since I've been able to open that Sushumna from 8th to down to root and root up. So my whole energy body starts to activate. So this activation is amazing. And throughout my day, I would close my eyes and I'd be open to this energy that would come through. In this state, I felt bliss, oneness, I understood creation. And once that energy flow really started, some new stuff came up in regards to my ego and my ego's voice. And I believe that anything that comes up, you have a choice to either deny it or deal with it. So, of course, I try to deal with it. I started to ask to see the difference between my divine consciousness and my ego consciousness. And of course, this brought up some more ego patterns that I was ready to dissolve. And by the way, I'm always paying attention to the ego because it can be a trickster. So then my body started to become pure light. And I remember back when my first spiritual teacher started to talk about the light body, I never really expected or experienced what I've been experiencing. I'm going to tell you that there are ways for you to open up your Kundalini process, but for most of us, there isn't really a quick fix. I feel the Kundalini yoga helps, activating your chakras. Those are all good beginning tools. Also start working on healing your energy bodies and your beliefs and traumas and subconscious emotional and mental programs that you have running. You can also imagine the movement of Kundalini upward, like the snake clearing out all the chakras as you go. There's also pranayama breathing, and those techniques, there are certain techniques that actually open up the Kundalini channel. So all these things will activate and help your Kundalini awakening, and will also help your ascension process. Now recognize the Kundalini activation will change you. So you have to be ready for that. What happens is many people get these spontaneous, instant understanding and openness, and then they're still dealing with a relationship in their life that constantly triggers them, and they start to fall backwards. So you want to make sure that you are taking the time to heal anything that comes up. You came to the physical plane to understand physicality, to understand how to transcend the physical body, the physical, emotional, mental, and physical bodies. So as you're doing this, the Kundalini will start rising and you will be activated in so many different ways. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like more of these, please make sure you hit that subscribe button below, and I'll see you soon. Much love.